Good morning, internet people, subscribers of my channel. Actually, you might not be subscribers. How's it going? Happy Friday. Hope all is well. I forgot to put my devices on Do Not Disturb and immediately started getting a phone call. We don't want that to happen. I need to program this so that this does not occur while I'm live streaming. I'm the best at this. How's it going, everyone? In this week's live stream, I am going to be sharing some of the super rad work that's been shared on my Discord channel. If you are not a member of my Discord channel, there's a link in the description. You should join. There's a lot of fun over there. There's a lot of great people. There's a lot of cool work being shared. I've said shared 7 times so far, I think. But, you know, I thought I should show this stuff. I should talk about it a little bit. I may give some mild feedback. I'm not, roasting anything here, but just some thoughts, because there's some really cool stuff, ways to maybe improve it, maybe just to say how great it is. And hopefully you are into that. Let me just check in with the chat here. I was eating an apple quickly before I started this, and I have a piece of apple in my tooth. So hold on a second. All right, false alarm. Well, not a false, well, it was real, but I got it. Hardicus, good morning. Ron Sikowski, morning from Boston, my old stomping grounds. I don't even know what that really means, my old stomping grounds. I guess I did some stomping there. Druzilla, nice to see you. The Good Chad, how are you? Have you guys checked out The Good Chad's videos? He's made like 2, and they're already better than most of my videos. So thanks for making me look like a rookie. The Good Chad. Jupiter Machine, how's it going? Tress Crawford, Jeffrey Wright, Silver Sky, Mark R, Eric Morton, Jake Howley, Trent Langley. We got a lot of channel members in the house. Krista Gallivan, how are you? Merlinda, Vergonia, morning. Nick on Nights, we got a lot of people here. It's Tolian, how are you? Sven, hi everyone. Aaron, Steve, the Good Chad. I already said your names. Kevin, hi. I got the last name right. That's an easy one, Sikowski. You don't even have a silent letter in there like I do. I know about the Polish names. All right, let me just switch over to a different screen, and the bear returns as well. He's got a gun too. That is terrifying. I'm gonna switch over to show some of the work. I'm just gonna get right into it. First up, Bazooka Tooth. If you're in the stream and you have a different name, this is the name that was in our Discord. Just super fun stuff here. You may have noticed that melty face in the thumbnail. I just love these little drawings. I especially love the stuff with the snake and it's almost like a tattoo flash sheet or something. It's just weird stuff, like the disembodied arm dripping out a money sign into a hand. It's just a lot. There's a lot going on. I like it. I really dig this pastel color palette. It's like, it doesn't seem like it work as well as it does, but I think I like that there's this kind of more rich, almost like acidic yellow mixed in with these like softer pastel colors, because it's just like a little off-putting. And I think that's kind of how this is sort of a perfect way to describe this illustration, because it's like, it's really cute and friendly and fun, but also a little off-putting. And that's what that yellow does. So super cool. Bear with the Gun says he loves the chair. I like the chair too. I think it's a good chair. I think there's a lot of good stuff happening here. I especially like the yellow guy popping out of the hole on the left, the top, and also the one with the pyramid head with the eyes. Really like that. Just overall good stuff here. Whoa, we're gifting membership. The Good Chad gifted 5 memberships. He is a true hero. Thank you, The Good Chad. You are truly the goodest of the Chads. All right, let me remember my key command. I actually had to learn a new key command today. If you're using Safari and you want to toggle between tabs, because I figured this might be an easy way to go through these, I made all of these as graphics and then open them up in Safari so that the GIFs would play well. Fun fact about this whole thing, one of the reasons why I decided to do this was because I didn't have something planned for this week, and I was like, oh, this would be something I could do, and I've also been really busy. So I was like, this will involve less work. This is not less work. Putting these all together, so much work. Okay, Command Shift arrows, we toggle through. The next one here, we've got an animation. It is a lot of fun. It is by CMYKC. If you're here and you have something else, you know, a different name, let me know. Super fun animation. I am really impressed by the steam coming out of that coffee mug. It's a little aggressive, but it's really cool looking. I just like the style. There's a lot of really fun things happening. The more that I look at this loop, the more I discover things that I like about it. I really like the motion lines coming off of the hand when it's doing the mousing. I also like how simple and like geometric the hands are, but yet they still work well. A lot of good stuff. Love the texture. Just really nice simplicity. I like the color palette a lot too. I guess this was for something called an Instagram account, Monday Challenge. I don't know what that is. Anyone else know what that is? I'm interested. Maybe I want to do a oh, they have a theme each week. So this theme was client feedback. Very cool. This is a color palette that I don't think I've ever experimented with, like these like dark greens and pinks. For some reason, I don't use that much green, and I don't know why. And I've tried to do it a little bit more lately, but I don't know. This looks really cool. It gives me 70s vibes. Love the little action lines coming off the top of the head. Super fun stuff here. Nice work, CMYKC. This is from Cozy Spell. I noticed, I quickly looked at Discord this morning and some people had shared some stuff today, but unfortunately I didn't have time to go in there and add some of that newish stuff. But I liked the color palette here quite a bit. I like how everything's very purple and cool, but yet there's the face and like the picture in the background are like clear focal points because they contrast where everything else is sort of cool and they're like little pops of warmth. The only thing that I think could make this better is that like having that clear focal point of the face and then that picture I think is nice, but having those like little decorative ornament things being so much contrast, being like also yellowy, orangey stuff really stand out. I don't know if they're bringing much to the story, but maybe this is in context with something else and there's something I don't know about those things. But for me, I think if those were more colored like the rest of the background, it would let that character pop a little bit more, which I think would be nice. Also like the plant coming in on that's sort of like closer to us and it sort of leads and points over to the face of the character. Really nice use of sort of guiding lines. Yeah, lots of good stuff happening here. I also may just suggest if the photo was just like softened a little bit. It's a little too contrasty for being behind the character. I feel like there should be a little bit more depth, like is being done with like the reflection at the bottom and stuff like that. But really nice, really cool color palette, nice texture, fun character, good expression. Nice job, Cozy Spell. Here we got 2 from, is it Diege or Diege? Dieg? 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 Diege? I think I just had a seizure. Super fun. Love the style here, the simple graphic stylized situation going on. I especially love the incorporation of the half-toned photo into the illustration. I think it adds a really nice element and a different sort of texture and variety and mixes things up a little bit. I think that's a really interesting way to, I don't know, to add some uniqueness to the work. I also like the very simple color palettes on both of these. Just really fun. Love the line work. It's clean, but also has just a touch of grit to it. The texture works really well. The simple characters, and these two just look nice next to each other because of the orangey reds and the blue pop off each other. Super fun style. Really like these a lot. Again, yeah, the incorporating the photo into the work is super nice and unique and very cool. Also good compositionally as well. Just like little details really on both of them sort of bring it together. Like that little action line at the bottom of the kickflip just really sort of balances everything out nicely. Super cool. Love that. Surreal G, you said you discovered my channel a few days ago and it made me want to learn how to draw. Awesome. Glad to hear. I thought maybe there was a question there and I started reading it. And then as I was reading it, I was thinking, hey, maybe I should read something before I start saying it out loud. Because you could have been saying, hey, Chris, I watched your videos and I think you're stupid and I want you to die. And I could have read that and it would have been weird. Okay. It's totally, and you said that Casper says transparent. You can see the back of the hat. Oh, I didn't notice that. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I think it might be cool if that was even more more exaggerated. But that's nice. So this is from Flexcellence. They posted a bunch of really cool abstract geometric pieces and then also some like process work, which was really interesting to see. I think they mentioned this was something they were started doing during lockdown to try to keep sane. But I think they're really fun and interesting to look at. Sometimes with abstract stuff, I can get bored, but I don't feel that way at all with these. I think they're really fun to look at. I like the use of minimal color, but there's just a lot of depth to it. Definitely a lot of fun. I encourage you to check out the process videos that he has shared in the art sharing, I forget what it's called, section in Discord. But super fun. It's like always a surprise what's going to come next because I don't have any sort of preview. So we'll see. Florianaur. So this is like a comic panel, which is super cool. I love how it's like a non-traditional framework and also that the frame is kind of wonky and also that the frame gets like broken in some areas. Really love that like claw hand with the sort of electric energy lines like breaking through. Really love the color palette. The colors are really cool. It's almost like drawing a blank of what I'm talking about, but really like the characters, the dinosaur, the Triceratops at the top. Fun fact, that's actually not really a Triceratops because there's two horns, but and there's horns on the back. This is a dinosaur that did not exist. This was made up. Is a lie, but that's okay. My fun fact, though, was that the Triceratops was my favorite dinosaur as a child. I used to think about it fighting the T-Rex for some reason, and it was something I was maybe a little bit passionate about. I was like, you'd be able to beat up the T-Rex. This is things that I thought about as a kid. And then I remember one time learning that that wouldn't have happened. They wouldn't have interacted in that way, and it kind of bummed me out because for some reason, little kid Chris wanted to know about that battle. So thanks, Florianaur, for sharing this. Very cool. The good chat has just been cranking out tons and tons and tons of stuff. Lots of fun lettering, lots of silly stuff. And I just had to grab two because, I would be streaming all day here. So this first one, I believe Goose War was a fake band name. I think it's a great fake band name. It's a band that I would like to be in. And the next one, I'd rather be a snowflake than a bigot. Yes, super cool, super fun. I agree. Also, nice lettering. Also, enjoy that bigot is also in orange. And those nice texture. I like the little snowflakes in the thing. The only one critique I have of the lettering is I feel like the center of the W is weird because it's so low and none of the other letters have that. So it draws me in and I don't know, it makes me focus on that one area a bunch. And I don't think that should be the case. It just becomes a focal point because it's the only thing that's different. Everything else feels the same. And then it's just that weird little wrinkle in there. Emily Haynes, you said you love the movement around the Goose War. Yeah, I agree too. I really like the way the Goose Warrior is integrated into the composition, and how the wing just perfectly flows into that G. I like the texture and the kind of not really sort of shading, but a little bit of shadow at the bottom of the letters. I think it's really fun. Also, the goose expression, just lovely. Very nice. Good morning, Diana Lisa. Nice to see you here. This is from Grozev. Forever tired. I very much relate to this feeling. I feel tired all the time lately. I have a 2-year-old, and that's just what it is, being tired. I like the expression of the cloud and also the face. It's funny, I read the cloud as to me it looks like the hand belongs to the cloud, even though the arm is clearly coming out of the O. I don't think that's a bad thing, but I think the expression of the cloud with that hand, just yeah, no, I'm okay, is funny. But then it's also a different experience when you look down at that face and you see the hand coming up. So it's you get to experience both of these characters telling us it is okay. It's okay. I like the dot pattern in the letters. I think that's kind of cool. You know what might be fun is if you brought that dot pattern into the O, but used it just at the top and the bottom, so it was scruff, a 5 o'clock shadow because they haven't shaved or showered. They're just so tired. I think it could express the idea, and also make it more cohesive with the rest of the letters. I also like that swoosh in the background sort of looks is like the Nike swoosh, but like upside down. It's like the opposite of, just do it. It's like, I'm tired, so turn that upside down. I don't know if that was intentional. Probably not, but I think it's funny. What else did I want to say? Also, I think the yellow just needs to be tweaked a tiny bit. It's a little too close in value to the pink. And I think maybe if it was like cooled down a little bit, maybe a little less orangey, it may help. I think it just needs something, a tiny bit. And then if I'm just being like, super picky, I like how minimal everything is. And because it's so minimal, it makes me want there to be less color. And, you could take this for what it is. You could say, that's stupid. I don't agree with that. But I think because it has that like printy look, you would think of it as like, this was hand printed. So would someone have wanted to print that extra brown just to be the shadow 3D thing on the tired lettering? Probably not. If this was actually printed, they like hand printed, they would probably say, well, let's just use the purple or the dark brown from the other letters. So just something to think about when you're trying to make this like analog printy look. Minimal use of color tends to make it look a little bit more authentic. Just my thoughts. Hunter JM, just a lot of energy in this scritchy, scratchy jumble of mess of Halloween stuff. Little fun things here. Vocalion is an alien on vacation, I believe. It's ridiculous, but I'm on board with it. The more you look at this, the more fun things there are. I really like the ghost with like the band-aid on his huge chin, but it's also not really his chin. It's like his body is just very weird. I don't know if that is an apple with dynamite, a candy apple. Oh, with a candy apple with razor blades. Huh. If anyone should have gotten that, it should have been me. Not because I put razor blades in candy apples. It's because it's lyrics in a Misfits song, and I big fan of the Misfits, or at least I was. I guess I still am, but it was like a big part of my teen years, like in the Misfits. But yeah, Vocalion, very funny. Pumpkins, like it's just like there was a grid for this. It's funny to me. I don't know if that's just grid paper. Maybe it's grid paper. But like the way that this was planned out, and also that there's a draw. I love the idea of like this structure and planning, and then also that involving something that is Vocalion. It's like, this is very serious. We're planning. We've got a grid. We've used a ruler. And now I'm going to draw Vocalion. It's ridiculous. It's absurd. And I like that. Istolian, you're in the chat. You made these things, and I thought they were rad, so I wanted to share them. I think you did these for your job, but I like the vibe. I think you mentioned that they were inspired by my lettering, so I guess that sounds obnoxious for me to be like, I like the vibe. But I feel like you have a unique spin on this. I don't think it looks like I made it. Maybe the coffee swap, but it's very uniquely you. I think there's some good vibration to it. I like the way, it makes me feel like I am going to have a bunch of coffee. I also really like the first ever block in that top one. I think that looks really nice. I think the Xmas 2022 is not as nice. I think it could have a little bit more structure like the first ever one does. Just feels like you worked your way from left to the right. You were killing it. Everything was going good. And then you're like, oh, let me do this Xmas 2022. I'm being dramatic. It's not that bad. It's fine. But everything else is nailed. Yeah, I like the lettering. I like it. I like the crazy colors. Nice job, is Tolian. Oh, so you made the top one a couple of years ago before. Okay, we'll see. I can tell because that doesn't look like the kind of drips that I do. So yeah, you did a great job on that. I think it's awesome. But I think the animation really brings that second one to life. Awesome work. Thank you. Jenna Hess. These are some portraits of dogs that you made. I don't know if you're here, Jenna. Jenna was assisting me for a while, and then she, got a new job, fancy, kind of busy, doesn't care about me anymore. And you know what? That's fine. These dogs are nice. I like your dogs a lot. I think they're very funny. They're so simple, and I think it's very hard to make things this simple and have so much expression, but they all have very distinct looks. The smile on Roxy is hilarious. I love the lettering that goes with it. I feel like the lettering really evokes the character of the dog, even though I don't know these dogs. I feel like I know them based on these drawings. Just wild use of color, fun texture. I think these are just great. These might be my favorite things that you've done. Super cool. Look at Bubs. Bubs is ridiculous. Roxy's extra ridiculous. I like Louis too. I also like that you just use the negative space for the eyes and the nose. That is very cool. I love the minimalness here. I also like the way the color is slightly offset, especially on Louis, because it sort of highlights the eyebrows and like the fluffy beard face. But yeah, super cool. The only thing I would say, it goes back to what I was saying before about like the printy look would be like being thoughtful about the colors that you're using, because like this is clearly bare. This is minimum. We're doing the minimum here. And for example, on Roxy, the blue in Roxy is so close to the blue of Roxy. So like, how is that introduced as a new color? And then instead of having that extra purple color, why not instead just layer the pink and the blue to make that? And then you've got this whole thing just made out of two colors, and it will really enhance that minimalistic print look. Like it's set up perfectly for that. Like you can see in this piece where the pink and the blue overlap, and just imagine that as the color for Roxy's face. And then it's just two colors. Then maybe you could actually make prints of these. Bubs, I think there's no reason that the Bubs lettering couldn't be the red or the gold. Just some thoughts. Just some thoughts on that. I want to pet them dogs too, King Kong. Kristen Galvin, you said Louis' eyebrows are your favorite. Yeah, they're fantastic. Jay Wilson posted this rad animation. Love all the line work in here. Super cool. It's there's so much happening. I think I recommended on the Discord that maybe just like holding on the black for a second before it transfers over. But I think this is super fun. Yeah, I think when the hands come out all the way, I think if it goes all the way to black and then comes back in, I think it would be a nice transition and really sort of allow that explosion to be exaggerated a little bit more because it would loop into the other end of it, I think. But really fun, really cool line work, lots of really nice details here. Yeah, I just think it's fun and I like watching it. I like loops like this where you could kind of blow out the screen completely to reset things. So super fun, super cool. Thank you for sharing. JM Hunter, Kirby Crackle, I see. Is that that is a brush? I believe it is. I think it does look like that. Christian Egg. We got a bouncing orange soda or orange seltzer. This is very simple, but it's great. The colors really pop. That orange on the blue background, just you can't go wrong with that. Also, the motion is nice. It's got a real good bounce to it, and I also like the thing, the tab thing, sort of teetering a little bit. It seems weirdly loose, but hey, I'm not gonna judge. It has a nice movement to it. I kind of wish that scribble maybe was wiggling too. Like maybe if you did that scribble a couple more times, and then looped that, might be kind of cool. But a lot of fun. Really nice bounce. King Kong said, "Doing the can." I had sound effects like set up for that kind of thing, and that would have been the perfect use of that. Okay. Here's 3 from a Lady Icarus, or the Illustrator on Discord. There's a lot of variety and style in a lot of these pieces, even more so than the ones that I shared. I just, I couldn't share all of the work on the Discord channel because, listen, there's so much cool stuff on there. So I highly recommend you check it out because I'm just sharing what I can in a somewhat brief amount of time. But I really loved the See You in Space one, like the texture and the presentation. I see the Instagram tag Space Icarus. So there's been Space Icarus, Lady Icarus, and the Illustrator. Changing names all the time. I think that's fine. I don't know which one is the best one, but you can let us know if you're here, maybe. But it looks like your Instagram name is Space Icarus, so check that out. Love the texture. Love the little details like the GTFO in the space thing, in the spacesuit, and also the bi lettering in the mask. Just my favorite. Love those things. Also like that it's like dripping, like, I don't know, was it melted? Does Spaceman get cut in half? No way to know. Cassette is fun. Nice type on there. It's also like pretty, but it's also sad because the tape is out of the cassette. This tape doesn't work. I don't know what's on here anymore. I can't listen to it. It's ruined. I like it though. And then this character with a TV head. I think it's a TV head. What's interesting to me is it makes me think that you are young because a TV, an old TV like that, very thick. Very thick. These are clunkers. Weren't flat screens. They were like 5 times as wide as that. They're definitely cubes. But maybe it tapers and we're not seeing it. I'm just old, okay? Very fun work. Thank you for sharing. Laura Zanda, really nice, soft, precious color palettes here. I love the grid and the switching of colors on the watch one and the texture. I think it's really cool. The only thing that bugs me is like everything lines up pretty well, except for on that top right. The top right one where it meets, it's like off a little bit. I don't know. It's not that big of a deal. Just everything else flows perfectly. But I do love the colors here. It's interesting to me when I see like color palettes that would never appear in my work, and I'm like, oh, I like that. And I'm like, but I would never use it. But that's cool. I like that. I like that it's something totally different from what I would do, and I see it and appreciate it. And the dog is adorable. I love the dog. I think it's such a nice portrait. I love the pink little nose, love the green eyes. Maybe that's exactly what this dog looks like, but you did a really nice job representing it. And the texture is subtle, but really adds to it. Just very sophisticated, simple, nice illustrations. Marco Pasniak. This is a pizza morphing into a dead zombie pizza. And it's crazy. Also, is weird because it looks like it's like flipping, but it's still in the... Oh, it is. It does flip. So the crust is now at the bottom. Okay. Really fun animation. It's simple, but it like reads really well. Look at the name Leaves because of how I was... Oh boy. So how I made these things, if you had a video uploaded and I wanted to make it a GIF so that it would easier to present this way, I was like bringing it into Photoshop, making it into a smart object, and then placing it onto another document so I could put the name on there. But then when I put the name on there, it probably didn't line up on the timeline properly, and that's why it's flashing. So that's what happens. I like the colors here. I love the face. I love the zombie thing. I also like how it's just like so fast that you don't like really, you got to keep like watching it to see what this face looks like. And then you notice little details like, does that have pepperoni fangs? Is that what we're doing here? There's also a wild like animation smear too, where that frame by frame is kind of crazy, but it works really well. Love that. Nicely done. Vito, you said, how can we review our work? So I'll do these videos more often, but if you want to join the Discord, that's a good way to do it. There's a section where you can submit work if you want me to talk about it in future videos. So feel free. Discord link is in the description. These are from Meg Rayano. I still don't know if I'm saying that right. Channel member, super cool. And not just because it says super cool. Love the texture on the super cool lettering and the simplicity of it. It feels cool. I kind of want that burst to maybe happen a little bit faster. It feels a little too pulsating and not cool. Maybe if it was a little faster and had a little bit of a sway, so it was like just a little more party time, a little more cool. But I think the style overall is great. I just don't know if the motion is enhancing the coolness, because I think it would be super cool even if it wasn't moving. So I think the motion should enhance the coolness. So maybe it needs to be slightly more dynamic movement. But otherwise, super cool. And I really like the Labor Day lettering. I like the gradient and the color choice within the letters. That script on the curve is nice. Little highlights, nice details, like that pink background. But yeah. JM Hunter, you said the 100-day project starts February 18th. Interesting. Does that mean I need to do another 100-day challenge? What should I do? What did I do last time? I've done several 100-day challenges. I'm trying to think of what they are. I did like 100 characters. I know. I think I did 100 skulls. What would I do this time? It would have to be pretty simple to be manageable in my life right now, because my life is chaotic, super busy. Trent Langley, new channel member. Pizza and coffee, two of my favorite things. Got some good animation here. We've got a weird face on the pizza, a funny mouth. The mouth is looking like it's sort of saying, wow. Wow. Yeah, I think it is saying wow. I kind of want the pizza to blink every now, just like a simple blink every now and then, just because I feel like it would go with the wow, just like a wow. Like you can't believe it. I like the drip comes down and like just dots the eye and then goes back up. I think that's fun. I love the lateral moves in pizza parties. The jitter juice is jittering really well. Got the jitters. Like the skull. I like the skull is like kind of moving up and down a little bit from the way it was drawn. But it's super fun, minimal color palette. Love that. I love the outline around the coffee mug. Also the morphing of the pepperoni into the lateral moves. I think if the pepperoni held a little bit longer would be nice. Like if we could just see the pepperoni on its own for maybe a couple frames, because right now it's just like instantly morphs into lateral moves. Maybe just like pepperoni and then lateral moves. But super fun, super cool. I noticed there's a little bit of a glitch where it resets. That could be from my exporting, but just a tip for those of you who are using Fresco to animate. Not even sure if this was done in Fresco, but a way to make that not happen is to just make sure that you are keeping consistent ratios for your frames. And if you're doing something with like a motion path, you can still control that by going down to the frames, and then you can see. So for example, if you have a 3-frame loop, you would just want to make sure, even if you have a ton of frames in that motion path, that it's divisible by 3 so that they always equal out. Because for example, if you have a 3-frame loop and then a path that's 10 frames long, that 3-frame loop is going to repeat 3 times, get to 9, then start over before the other one finishes at 10, because there's an extra frame, and then they're slowly going to get off and fall apart. Just a quick tip on that. Mochi. Happy New Year, Year of the Dragon. Love this character. Like the style and the color. The only thing I would say is that the lettering, if it's lettering, I think it's actually a font, doesn't, yeah, it's almost positive it's a font. Doesn't feel cohesive with the drawing because of the line weight and the style. So what I would recommend is if you want to use this font, which I'm pretty sure it's a font. It's a font. It's definitely a font. I would like set it and then like trace over it in your line work so that it matches stylistically. And I think that will help quite a bit. Also, you've got this like arc at the top naturally, and it would be nice if the type arced around that. But yeah, you could just use this as is and just trace over it with the same line weight, and then it would match nicely. Also, the red that is in the character is a little less saturated than the red in the type, and I think if you match that, it'd also feel more cohesive. I love the horns on the dragon horns on the dog too. Super fun, super cute. Really like it. Just a couple little tweaks to make it perfect. Nicely done. Hi, Icarus. We talked about your work. It was great. I think you got some new followers. Thanks for joining. MojoMan has posted a ton of stuff on the Discord. He is like building stuff in 3D, like Nomad Sculpt, I think, and then animating it after the fact, which is kind of wild. But it's super crazy. I think the animation of the splat and the text is a little too loud for this character, just because the character is so cool that I want to see it more, and it almost is hard to look at because of that like red and yellow vibrating on that blue. So I think if that background was just toned down a tiny bit, so that character could really be the focal point, I think that would help quite a bit, because I think the character is super fun. And yeah, he's posted a ton of cool stuff on the Discord that he's been making. So thank you for sharing. Hi, Aaron Robertson. Nice to have you here. NinjaMomtastic is very active in the Discord, posting lots of cool stuff. She does a really great job of having her analog work look very similar to her the work that she does in, I believe she works in Fresco, but she's sort of mastered that balance. She's posted a ton, but these are two that I picked out because I liked them. I feel like they're very expressive. I guess it's the eyes. The eyes are similar in both of these, but the eyes really do it for me. I like just how simplistic that dinosaur is, but it's also got a lot of emotion and character. Super fun. I think I mentioned the analog and traditional sort of meshing well, and I think it is happening quite well in the dog one, but that dark blue area at the top does look a little like it could be softened up a little bit. It's a little too harsh at the top, and that texture is a little too perfect compared to everything else. But I think, that's just a subtle thing. But it's these are so much fun. These are really cool. Thank you, NinjaMomtastic. Elcat, the Discord link is in the description below. Shane Croak, Duck Yeah. He's shared a lot of really cool stuff. I love the simplicity of this. I love the expression. I love that the duck has a little bit of a stubble. And it's also a football. It also has bombs, it appears. And then I like the little motion action lines, the little, I don't know, water droplet things, just sort of really flow that border around the background nicely. Like the little highlights on the eyes. Just a lot of simple, fun stuff going on here. The only thing I might suggest is that I think the shadow is a little harsh on the wing and below the bomb. I don't know if it's even necessary at all, but I think if you were gonna do it, to just tone it down a little bit, it's just a little much. But I like it. I like it quite a bit. It might be cool to see like a distressed version of this, like an old sports logo or something like that. The Quolf the sea wolf, the Quolf, graze on trays. Super fun. I got a software update. It just popped up right in the middle of this. Okay. We got flying pizza. We got coffee. We've got a beard. It's just fun. Got lots of energy, lots of movement. I like that it's like a literal tray. It's like snowboarding on a tray. It's a lot of fun. I would say that there's a wild amount of color going on here. That's like similar uses of color. And again, this is a preference thing, so take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. I just feel like when you're doing simplistic, like simple shape line work like this, if there's not a need, like it looks like there's a candy bar, granola bar or something green, and then the hat green, and they're just like so close. And there's like the jacket blue, but then the tray's blue, and they're like, 90% the same, but a little bit different. And for me, I just feel like it would look more cohesive and really let us focus on the line work, because with work like this, the star of the show is the line work. Like it's the actual illustration. And when we've got so many different colors, it sort of distracts a little bit. So I would encourage you maybe to try, and maybe you say, I don't like this, and then you go back to what you're doing, and that's fine. I'm not the expert on everything. I'm just saying what I think might be cool is if you say every time you're going to introduce a new color, do I need this color, or can I use one of the colors that is already in the composition? This is very funny. And also, it's going to be fun to say Tootie Bum Bum. This is from Tootie Bum Bum. This is a candy heart that is in love with a Tums because love is blind. It's beautiful and ridiculous and just my kind of humor. So thank you, Tootie Bum Bum, for that. Let's just look at them looking at each other. Also, I think the eyes and the mouth are literally the same ones flipped, which is interesting. That's kind of funny. Super cute. All right. Ooh, I'm timing this pretty well. So this is a piece by Emily Haynes, who reached out to me and said, hey, do you want a piece to redo? Or I think she actually said like I could tear it apart if I wanted to. I'm not going to tear it apart. I think it's fun. There's a lot of stuff working for it. But I started, making some notes and adjustments and was feeling inspired to try to fix things when I was trying to think about the hands and like how the arm was. I have to like draw to sort of figure it out. And it ended up in me completely making a new piece that is more of a draw this in your style than a feedback thing. But I did a new version addressing some of the issues that I had with this. I think the character is fun, and like the type curving around the top is nice. I like the idea of this little satisfaction guaranteed. A lot of fun stuff. Some of my issues with it are that everything is like especially the foot at the bottom and then the top of the get bubble, they're so close to the edge that there's like this tension, and you should give that some breathing room so it's not just like right at the edge. Imagine if it was like printed and then it was just like right there, just like a hairline of color. Not ideal. The arm, giving the thumbs up, a little weird. Doesn't feel like it's connected properly. And then the coffee coming forward like the foot, I feel like they're sort of like the foot is small to sort of fit in that space, and I think that it could be configured and switched a little bit to make it work. And then also like this blue coming around is the steam from the coffee cup, it seems. But then what are these blue lines? Is that the steam? Or is this the steam? Why is there two steams? Oh, this is not steam. These are, what are those? Are those worms? What are we doing here? So that was me pretending to try to roast it. But I think it's, get it? Coffee roast. Okay, so let me switch to the second one, which is my critique and adjustment. So what I did was I first addressed the issue with spacing, moved everything in a little bit, and then started working on figuring out what was weird about the character. And for me, the position was weird, of like the foot straight out. Like if this cup man was walking, his leg wouldn't be straight down and then up forward unless he's like some weird like Nazi soldier or something. I don't know if that's a weird analogy, but like it would be like a motion, like the back foot would be coming forward. This just looks like he's just doing straight leg kicks. So to address that, I changed the leg position a little bit so that the one was going back. And the more I kept trying to get the coffee cup to work there, I was realizing, this is problematic because of the placement. Let's just throw the coffee cup in the other hand, and then we can get a thumbs up right in the middle, and that'll just sort of lead the composition into a nice kind of circular form where it flows back into each other. So I got rid of the extra steam, and then I wanted to make things a little bit more subtle color-wise to sort of keep things minimal, and thought the steam maybe should be more steam-ish color instead of blue. I thought that the character itself, like the face and stuff, was fine, so I sort of drew it a little bit more in my style, but I don't think there's an issue with the other one. I did make the bloodshot eyes. I kept them bloodshot, but just a little bit more subtle. I think there's because the veins themselves were almost as big as the pupils. The eyes were getting a little bit weird and almost looking like a peanut or something. And I love the 100% satisfaction guaranteed thing. I love fake things like that, so I just went overboard and did my own satisfaction guaranteed. I love fake little badges like that, but I just wanted it to be a little bit more subdued. So I added some overall texture to everything to just make it, that old-timey look, this sort of retro vibe that it has going for it. There's also my thoughts about like the tons of different extra colors. Like there's so many different yellows and oranges in such a minimal thing that I just wanted to keep it super simple. So like there's just yellow, orange, and red, and then the line work color here on the one that I did. So yeah, super fun drawing. I had fun playing with it. I hope that you're not offended by that. And then let me see. And then I just made a full-size one to show some of the texture because I was having fun. I was having fun with the texture and this drawing. So thanks, Emily, for making me do this. Jay Mutters a decaf Nazi. That's hilarious. Nina, you said it reminds you of Cuphead Heart. Yeah, agreed. And not just because it's a cup. Aaron, you said, what is your go-to point size for your basic round brush? I tend to go a little too thick sometimes, so just wondering. My basic round brush. Hold on a second. So it has a lot to do with your file size. So like if your dimensions of your file are small, it's not gonna you need that relationship together. So, for example, this drawing is 4,000 pixels by 4,000 pixels, and the brush I was inking with, which is the Retro Supply Co. Classic Inker, I had set to 40. So hopefully that is helpful. This was a fun live stream to do. If you guys enjoyed this, let me know, and I will do more of these in the future. If you are interested in having me talk about your work, join the Discord. Link is in the description, and you can, there's a channel in there where you can submit your work to be considered for an upcoming video. Let me just quickly shout out my channel members, especially my, oh boy, I messed it all up. My super supporters and above, whose names that I illustrate and include in all the videos I make while they are active members. If there has been people who have joined since I made this graphic, I didn't get a chance to look this morning. I apologize for not mentioning you in today's live stream, but I will be sure to have your name in the next video. Remember, I have new videos every Tuesday, so if you are new here, don't forget to like and subscribe and comment and smash my thumbs. I appreciate all of you. Thanks for hanging out with me again. Live streams every Friday. And let me know in the comments what you'd like to see me do in an upcoming live stream, because I need some ideas. Okay, good talk. Thank you. Bye.